Sure, and I am broadcasting as well. I've just started my hand with, and I'm pointing it now to the Skype and my microphone and all sorts of stuff. So hello, my 5 followers. I think which is half of my family actually. This is great. Okay, it's a little bit intimidating actually having a hand with whilst I'm recording an interview, but here we go. This is I'm going to start recording now. So I've got your first job, Dave. I would love to get you on another episode where you say your name. Hi, I'm Dave Swartz. I'm the founder of Hang With, and you are listening to the TheAppGuy podcast. And that would be a little pre-roll ad I would put into another episode. Would you be able to do that for me? Great. That's perfect. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Welcome to another edition of the TheAppGuy podcast. I'm your host, it's Paul Kemp, and it's my great pleasure. I love this podcast because I get to meet some interesting people doing fascinating things. And this is the first ever podcast. This is episode number 102 with Dave Swartz, and he is the founder of Hang With. And what is really interesting is I'm actually recording this. We're both recording this, and we're both hanging out on his new app. So, Dave, it's a warm welcome to the TheAppGuy podcast. Now, it's really intimidating. I've got your app. I'm broadcasting this live, and I can see that maybe one or two comments will come up. So, yeah, perhaps for the benefit of people that you haven't come across Hang With, could you give us an insight into what the app does? And the inspiration behind the idea and your journey to create it.
Kind of looking out of the corner of my eye as the numbers are going up and as the comments are going up. So I can see I have 29 viewers right now, and I've got about a dozen comments of just people asking questions and commenting on the interview, and all these people are with us live right now.
Yeah, I feel like this is my first ever podcast where I'm actually getting an audience. I've got 5 viewers on as well, which is interesting. The only challenge I've got is then trying to hear your voice. So I'm obviously using headphones and a little setup, but this is just absolutely. I love this, and I love the experience. And this is one of the reasons why I do this podcast, is because you come across these fascinating apps. And what gave you the idea to do live streaming? Did you, was it written down on a beer mat? Have you got an interesting story on how you actually came up with the idea?
And we build custom applications for companies, for movie studios, for celebrities. And over the years, we've built a lot of apps for people in the entertainment space. And really, every time we're building an app for someone, whether it's Pauly D or Marley Maitland or Sarah Silverman or the different people who we've built apps for, really what they're looking to do is build a stronger relationship with their fans. That's what they're, they want to build an app, but what they really want is a better way to connect with their fans. And so over the years of meeting with dozens, if not hundreds of people in that space, we just kept hearing over and over again that social media was letting them down, that it was fake, it wasn't building a real connection, that they had all these Twitter followers, they had all these Facebook followers, but that there were people in the space who were hiring teams and hiring fake Twitter people and hiring fake Facebook people, and the whole space was just getting convoluted, and fans were seeing through it. So they were looking for a real way to connect with fans and to do that through social media. And there was, a rapper in particular who we were meeting with who just kind of, eloquently talked about how he
It's 50 Cent, is it? Is that 50 Cent?
actually wasn't 50 Cent is one of our investors. 50, but 50 loves it for the reason that we were talking about with this rapper way back when, which was there's something, especially in the hip hop community, which is funny because we have a really strong following in hip hop, but there's something about just wanting to be real and wanting to be genuine and want to connect with your fans, and they can see through the BS and they want to know who you are and what you're about. And so we came back to the lab and we were sitting around and thinking about what could an application be that could help fans really connect with artists, and what do fans really want. And what they really want is they want kind of a sneak peek into the life of somebody famous, and they want a sneak peek into their world. And Twitter and Instagram and Facebook were providing that to some extent, but not with the reality of live streaming video. So we said, how can we build a platform that can connect fans with celebs with live streaming video, so there's no fake news, that was the platform that we set out to build, and we've been incubating it for years. Probably the end of 2012, technology had gotten far enough along in terms of video streaming. Our team was really strong in terms of the engineers we had on our team. And so we built a prototype and we started playing with it. And what we discovered was that it wasn't just fun to watch famous people. It was actually really fun to watch people and to watch complete random strangers. And so we actually kind of shifted a little bit in how we designed the application. So it wasn't just for celebrities to use. We said anybody would like to use this. It's fun watching people that live on the other side of the world, just seeing what they're doing right now in a different time zone. It's fun watching people who you work with and don't normally see them going for a walk on the beach in the morning. So it started out really targeted towards building this platform for celebs, but over time, as we started to use it, we realized it was much bigger than that.
It's really, I loved when I first downloaded the app. I'll tell you how I found out about it. It was that you promoted the Hang With app at CES, and there was a group of people that were using it. There's a guy that I had on the show recently, a guy called Joel Comm, the New York Times bestseller, and he was promoting Hang With, and because he was using it, I decided to download it, play with it. My first broadcast was in my car outside the shopping center, which is kind of sad. But what was interesting, Dave, is it really reminded me just the power we have in our hands with phones. But also it was a little bit unnerving, just being able to instantly stream and broadcast and almost just go into other people's lives. And I felt like there was a border, a line that I just crossed the line and just into another new world. And I guess for me personally, I'm reminded of a wonderful science fiction film called Strange Days, which was a way of tapping into other people's lives. And I thought, the future is here. The future is amazing.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And there's different ways that I see it sometimes. Sometimes I see the platform with these pinpoints into the world where you can look right now into all these different places around the planet and see what's happening right now. And there's an amazing voyeuristic element to it, to just understand how different people are living in different places. And we've got users in Saudi Arabia, and we've got users in Paris, and we've got users in Japan, and it's wild to be able to tune in and just see what's happening in all these different places as we speak. At the same time, as a broadcaster, as somebody who's kind of sharing your life live, we have this vision for Hang With that, you mentioned one science fiction movie or one movie, one of our design leads was talking about the old science fiction image of the Megatron, where when you're watching those movies, there's somebody being broadcast on the TVs and on the movies and on the billboards and on the store windows, and it's just like this one voice that's being broadcast everywhere. And we joke about it, but we kind of look at Hang With as that type of a mouthpiece platform. How can we give people the ability to broadcast live what they're doing right now to as many different places around the planet as possible? So we added live streaming to Facebook back last year, where you could share your stream live into your Facebook page, and that's actually, the technology there has come a really long way. So now, as I'm streaming this on my Hang With account right now, it's also streaming on my Facebook page, and if my friends happen to stop in, they're going to see this live as it's happening.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that. I know that my recording went on to my Facebook page, but that's absolutely fascinating. So
Right.
it's live embed into your Facebook news feed. What timeline?
Yeah, exactly. And then
Wow.
what's cool about it is, let's say this broadcast ends and I say things that I don't feel as good about for some reason. I,
Yeah.
I can go into my own account and I can kill the link. So for celebrities who are very conscious about what image they put out there, they want to be able to be free and to broadcast live and to just show what they have going on. But at the same time, there's that control that if something does happen that they don't necessarily want to live forever, they can just flip a switch in the app and that link is killed, so it can't go viral, it can't be shared, it can't be viewed anymore. So we're making the tools for people to blast the globe, but we're also being responsible and giving some control to the users, because live is a brand new medium. It's an interesting space, and we think that our insight into the space is what's going to make Hang With the winner, and that's part of it. The other thing is we just introduced web widgets. So this broadcast that we have right now, Paul, you can embed it right into your website, and you could be streaming on your web page as a direct link from your Hang With account. So now we've just added
Ah,
live
that's
stream.
interesting. So, Dave, I'll tell you that is fascinating because I end up using Google Hangouts to do my live webinars, and so I actually could use Hang With now and to embed that into my website. Then, when I'm doing a live event, people can go to my website page with the embed and watch it live streamed.
Correct. And they also have access to all the archives. So it's not only creating this live window into your content, it's creating a whole portfolio. It's a content generation tool. And for someone like yourself, when you're out and about, there's a time and a place for other technologies, but we see Hang With as the tool that you're going to, you go to a trade show, you go to CES, you go somewhere where you have insight into a part of the world that 99% of us will never get to see. So now Hang With is your tool to go out and share it live, and then also to capture it and share it on your website moving forward.
Ah, Dave, the thing about being an app developer and being involved in the app world is that you always you come up with like a lot of ideas. And I remember back in 2008, I was going on a run through the Alps, in the French Alps, and I thought, wouldn't it be great if there was a way of broadcasting this run so that other people can share it?
Yeah.
And now you've fulfilled my vision in a way that I could, I guess I would have to run my phone, but and we have to talk about Google Glass because I can imagine this would be fascinating on Google
Oh
Glass.
my God. So you just gave me an awesome segue, because there's been some chat on my broadcast, and I'm also very conscious of my viewers on my broadcast. So Google Glass opens up the door to just Android in general. I think that the Google Glass, the ability to broadcast on Google Glass is insanely cool. We built a prototype version of it that broadcasts on Google, and you can wear the glasses around and you can stream what you're seeing and what you're doing, and it makes the technology, in my mind, invisible. You're no longer thinking about holding a phone, you're no longer thinking about streaming live, you're just doing what you're doing and you're sharing it live. So the promise of what Google Glass is bringing is insanely cool. The reality of it is that the tool still has a ways to go. The connectivity isn't as strong as a phone. It doesn't maintain the broadcast strength as well as a phone or a tablet is going to maintain the broadcast strength. You can't view the chat because the window with which you're viewing is so small. So we're still playing with it and looking at ways to push the Google Glass tool forward. And I think as just a pure broadcasting tool, it's insanely cool. And if people want to play with it, we do have an SDK we're willing to share. But it's not necessarily production, world. I wouldn't go download it in the store yet, but more because I think that the glass has a little bit of a ways to go before it's going to be a mass tool. Having said that, the promise of wearables and the promise of Google Glass is amazing, and not just glass, but other wearables. There's one of our engineers has his watch set up to alert him when his favorite broadcasters are broadcasting. You know, there, The
So Dave, I'm just going to have to say goodbye to my broadcasters. I've got 13 viewers now on Hang With, and my time is running out. So goodbye. Thanks for joining me on this particular broadcast. There we are.